Beautiful. There we go. All right. So the title of this is The Inherent Worthiness of the Divine Self. So this is going to be purely an active meditation prompt. All right. You can do this meditation standing, sitting, doing dishes. It doesn't require you to close your eyes. Right? It just requires you to accept one truth that right now you already have what you desire. Right? So of course this is going to be streamed to YouTube, so you can always go back to YouTube. Then after this we'll do questions. Okay? Cool. All right. So sit with this. Okay? Sit with this. Before the healing, before the clarity, before the manifestation, before the peace, there is something far more ancient and true about you. You are worthy simply because you exist. Okay? You are not worthy because you are improving right now. You're not worthy because you're performing. You are not worthy because of what you have overcame. You are worthy because you are the expression of the Infinite One, experiencing itself through your eyes. You are already right now the wholeness and fullness of God in a temporary human costume. This is the truth that religion tried to make you earn, the world tried to make you chase, trauma tried to make you forget, but worthiness is not a ladder. It is simply your birthright. It is not granted by achievement. It is revealed through your remembrance right now. Right? So every time you turn inward, okay, you are remembering the divinity you never stopped being. All right? So here's the practice. So you can do this practice wherever you are, right? But I'm going to walk you through a practice of acceptance. Okay? I'm going to walk you through a practice of acceptance. Accepting that you are God. Accepting that right now you are one with your desire. Accepting that right now you are absolutely worthy. Whole, complete prosperity. Okay? So when you sit down or stand up or become aware for this practice, all right, let the beginning be simple. Okay? So right now, there's no ritual, no effort, no intention. All right? No ritual, no effort, no intention. Just this gentle recognition right now. Right now, exactly as I am whole. Right now, exactly as you are prosperity. You are love. You are abundance right now. All right? Now say it without forcing belief. Let it echo inside you like a memory waking up. In this moment, you are uncovering what has always been true. Whatever it is that you want, the money that you want, the love that you want, the person that you want, the house, the life, the health that you want. Do not focus on what is outside of you. Focus on you. Gently bring your awareness to you. And accept, without forcing, just gently accept that right now, no matter how you feel, you are exactly the person that you desire to be. Okay? Now, as you sit with this knowing, or stand with this knowing, whatever you are doing, become a witness. Become an observer of the mind and the emotions that pass through. If a wave of worry rises, let it rise. If tension pulls at your chest or a knot forms in your stomach, let it form. Do not argue with the body. Do not resist its expression. Right? If you feel like you can relax into this right now, relax. If you do not feel that you can relax right now, that's fine. It is what it is. Do not resist whatever you feel right now. Simply remind yourself, even in this emotion, no matter how you feel, if you feel relaxed, if you feel uptight, right now, remind yourself, I am still what I desire to be. Okay? Emotions are weather. They are not your identity. They are just weather. They pass and you remain. Okay? And then the thoughts come. Right? The thoughts always come. The mind whispers its tired script. Right? Simply observe this. What about your reality? What about the money? What about the love? What about what they said? What about what you feared? This is the ego trying to negotiate with God. Okay, this is the small self trying to make sense of something much larger. Do not argue with the thought. Don't run from the thought. Don't argue. Don't try to force it away. Just be. Do not wage war with the mind. Let it say whatever it needs to say. And you calmly reaffirm, even when the ego doubts, I remain the one who already is. Even when the ego doubts, I remain the one who already is. Okay? This is the heart of inherent worthiness. Worthiness means nothing inside of you can steal your identity. Nothing outside of you can steal your identity. Nothing outside of you can define your nature. Worthiness means you do not have to earn your right to be whole. Worthiness means you do not have to wait for conditions to improve before you call yourself complete. Worthiness means your divinity is not fragile. It is not dependent on the fluctuations of the mind. Whatever you feel right now, whatever you're thinking right now, you are still exactly the person that you desire to be. You are prosperity, you are love, you are whole, you are worthy, you are divine. There is no more work to do. Okay? Mysticism says you have forgotten your own divinity, so you chase reflections of it in the world. They encourage you to stop chasing the reflections and remember the source. I am is the source. What you decide you are is the truth. You do not need to run from the truth anymore. You don't need to argue against the truth anymore. You are already who you desire to be. The Gospel of Thomas said, when you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will realize you are children of the living Father. Okay? This is not meant to mean someday, in a distant future when you feel better. This is not after climbing an imaginary ladder of spiritual perfection. This is right now. So in this practice, your only job is remembrance. You sit. You acknowledge your inherent wholeness. You watch the emotions rise without granting them power. You watch the thoughts move through without bowing to them. Do not fight anything. Simply stay rooted in the truth that existed before the thought and will exist after the thought. I am already that. You are already that. When you live from this knowing, right here, when you live from this knowing, everything begins to shift. Right? It's not because you're trying to manifest. It's not because you're perfecting your mindset. It's because truth always shapes your reality. Your world becomes a mirror that reflects your remembrance. Opportunities, love, clarity, resources, healing, all begin to gather around the identity you finally dared to inhabit. Stop denying yourself. This is the secret, right? You're not waiting for worthiness, right? You are walking in it. Okay? Recognize that blessings have been orbiting you all along, waiting for you to lift your eyes. Okay? Sit with the truth of who you are. All right, let's go off script. Sit with the truth of who you are. You've never been anything less than whole. You've never been anything less than perfect. You've just been distracted by thoughts that you thought were you. You've been distracted by emotions that you thought were the truth. But these things are always going to rise and fall, show up and fade away. But the truth of who you are has always been there. Your essence is unchangeable. God is unchangeable. You've simply been hiding your essence behind the illusion of thoughts and emotions. No matter how you feel right now, you are everything that you desire to be. Relax into that knowing. Accept that knowing. Cool. All right, that was cool. That's what I wanted to record. I appreciate y'all's patience. So feel free to revisit that on YouTube whenever. And shoot, let's do questions. If y'all have questions, let's talk about them. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let's go. Right? What's up, Marie? What's up, KT? The tears are beautiful, aren't they? Love y'all more. Appreciate you, Kevin. How should you act when you get your desires? However you feel like acting. However you feel like acting is how you should act. If you want to cry, if you want to be normal, if you want to be excited, it's your birthright, right? You're not obligated to act any kind of way. It's not a requirement, right? You won't lose anything by acting a certain way or gain more by acting a different way. Everything is yours by right of consciousness already. This one wasn't A Course in Miracles inspired, but the last two discussions that we had on YouTube were A Course in Miracles inspired. Appreciate you, Aunt. I appreciate you for that, brother. You understand that it is your beliefs that condemn people, right? We're all just taking a different perspective of God. But you've been in here several different streams saying things like that, right? Who made you the judge of what is right in the eyes of God? Nobody, right? But it's okay, right? I still love you. But please, brother, please check that ego, man. Please. What else y'all want to talk about? Man, it's been a beautiful day. Uncle got released today. You know, when your eyes are open to miracles, right? When you see the power of God moving through your life, right? It's just, man, undeniable, right? It is undeniable. Miss Voice Bells, it's already yours, right? It's already yours. It's beyond trust, right? It's just a fact. It's just the fact that everything is working out, right? It's beyond you trying to trust. It's beyond you doing all that you can to trust in the body, right? The ego, right? The small self, the mind, the body, of course it's going to react to what you see out there. That's what it does, right? And that's fine. But the truth is much more vast. God's got you, right? You can jump out that plane and God will catch you. Right? Accept it as a fact. Accept the truth as a fact. Not as something that you need to strive for or try to become. You're already it. It is just an absolute fact of your existence that you are divinely taken care of. The same way that you have been divinely taken care of until this point, you will continue to be divinely taken care of. Right? Expect overwhelming abundance in your life. Expect things to work out beautifully, divinely, because that is what you deserve. Right? Yeah. Life becomes absolutely, when you look with the eyes of God or look through the eyes of God, right, you realize everything is God. So there's nothing not to be grateful for, right? There's nothing, you know what I'm saying, not to adore. There's nothing not to look at with devotion, right? Every moment you are wrapped up within this miracle. And it can be easy to overlook those things when we have things in our life that feel important, right? Family members' health issues, upcoming bills, deadlines, situations, right? But it is the more that we can bring ourselves back into that present moment, relax into this present moment, understand all is well and perfect right now in this present moment. Open our eyes, right? Put on those glasses, those divine glasses, right? See with the eyes of God. We're always surrounded by miracles. There's always something I could be grateful for, right? Even when I was gonna get evicted, right? And I was sitting around, you know, before I went to sleep, I was just looking around like, just grateful to have another day. It's all working out. Somehow it's paid in full. I'm grateful to have another day, right? So, damn, I appreciate y'all's support so much. Damn. Truly. I truly appreciate all y'all's kind words, man. Thank you. Thank you. I love y'all. How do I get over an ex? You go through the process. You go through the process. You go through the human experience of grief, of shedding an old identity, of mourning not just that person, but the version of you that thought y'all would be together forever. You allow yourself to do it. And then some days are better than others. And some days are worse than others. But every day you move forward. You learn your lessons. You grow. You get better. You start to pull beautiful memories from it. You start to get less bitter. It's a process, right? And the process is going to be very individual to you, right? I've went through grieving processes. We all have. And those processes have all been very individual and unique to us. Right? Nobody can tell me how long it's going to take. Nobody's going to tell me how I can feel. Hell, I'm going to feel a certain way, but I'll never experience how someone else feels. Right? So their journey will be very specific to me. Honor yourself. right? Honor yourself through it. Take it one day at a time, and you'll get out the other side. Torn between staying with my son's father. Torn between staying with my son's father. Advice. With just that one sentence, I don't know what to tell you. With just that one sentence, I could make all kinds of assumptions. But oftentimes we do ask questions we already know the answers to. So I'll impart you with that divine wisdom today. Oftentimes we ask questions that we all already know the answer to. So I'll ask you, what is the answer to the question? You are torn between if you should be there or not. What is the answer to that question? What do you think it is? What is my interpretation of whatever is the point, especially after realization that you are? What is your interpretation of whatever is the point, especially after the realization that you are? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Oh, what happened in the end of the eviction? The money showed up in the account magically, and it was paid off. The money showed up magically out of thin air. It was a miracle, one of the biggest miracle in my life to this point. Minus my mom's cancer disappearing into thin air. Those are the two miracles. Can I talk about intuition or gut instinct and how that works with the I am? Of course I can. Hell yeah, I can talk about that. Let's talk about gut feelings and intuition. All right. Bottom line, let's get right to the meat and potatoes, all right? Because people will say, oh, it's my intuition, it's my gut. Let me tell you this. Oftentimes, your intuition is just pattern recognition anyway. But let's say that you have a gut feeling. Let's say that you have intuition. Let's just say that, okay? Let's say you have intuition that that person is good for you or not good for you. Now, you have that intuition. You have that intuitive nudge. Okay, cool. Do you believe that that feeling, that nudge is the absolute truth of reality? Not a rhetorical question. I want y'all to answer that. Do you believe that if you get an intuitive feeling or an intuitive nudge, do you believe that that is the final say-so, that that is the truth of your reality? Exactly. All right, if y'all already knew the answer, then what y'all asking me about intuition for then? So what y'all asking me about that shit for then, huh? Since y'all already know the answer. So that's what it is. Sometimes it's patterns, sometimes it's whatever, right? So if you have a intuitive nudge on anything, who has the final say-so on if that is the truth or not? You do. How many times do you have a quote-unquote gut feeling and you're like, nah, fuck that shit, I ain't finna do that? How many times? Probably all the time. You are the one who determines whether it's gonna work for you or work against you, right? This is why the constant thing that I'm trying to push y'all towards is to transcend the need to use emotions for decisions, right? Even before you got in the manifestation space, people were telling you that, I bet. You know what I'm saying? You can't base all your decisions on emotions. They're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. You are the truth. I am is the truth. And if I simply base who I am on my emotions, well, I'm going to be swayed. I'm going to be like a feather in the wind, a leaf in the wind blown around by circumstance. Right? Just because I see a pattern does not mean that's the truth of my reality. I am the truth. I get to choose. I get to have the final say so. Right? So that's what I'll say. I'll say when it comes down to people going off intuition, or, somebody might just see a pattern. For instance, there are often times where people will say things like, yeah, I had an intuitive nudge. And from the outside looking in, it seems valid. Now, no one can ever, now I would never be within your body to know what intuition feels like to you, right? But let's say that you're judging me, and I give you two scenarios. In this one scenario, I say, man, look, I just knew intuitively that things would work out with my mother and that she would be healthy. You would say, intuition. Now, what if I told you, I just knew she was going to cheat on me because of intuition. I just knew that motherfucker was no good. I just knew she was crazy as hell. I knew she was batshit crazy, intuition, because I seen this shit 1,000 times before in all these other women. What's the difference? What is the difference? Maybe something, maybe nothing. But even from the outside looking in, you would look and be like, are you sure that's intuition, or is it just you holding on to a past story? Is it just you, because you've been through certain situations and now you've labeled them as truth? You're holding on to this past story, labeling it as truth. Now this is who you believe that you are. Now this is it's like the people that walk around saying men ain't shit, women ain't shit. Right? Would you trust their intuition if they said, I just knew that she was just gonna fuck up? You'd be like, That's a good statement. I read once, intuition doesn't cause fear, it's just a calm knowing. So if it's fear, it could be ego. Cool, we could look at it like that. The way I like to look at it is this. I have final say-so on what everything means. I get to make the decisions, right? So if that pattern that I recognize, or this feeling is nudging me in a direction that I do not want to go, that does not align me with the God I know myself to be, then I simply don't accept it. It's not the truth. That's it. What about a different? Give me another example. Give me another example source. I got you. Let's talk about it. You have the feeling hold up. You have the feeling you shouldn't leave the house, and then you find out something bad happened. Did you accept that feeling of leaving the house as true and not leave the house? And then reality proved to you that what you accepted as the truth was right? It's all the same. Right? It's all the same. That's still the exact same thing, right? You will always be what you accept as the truth will always be proven to you as the truth. Right? So even if you say that if I hear to do something and I don't follow it, I usually regret it. Well, that's a belief now, right? You believe that that pattern is holding you prisoner, but you're holding that pattern prisoner. You're the one who's holding that pattern up and that story up in your consciousness, and now it's continuing our picture. You could just as easily say it's all working out. I'm not saying you do or don't have intuition, but I'm saying that me telling the story that I have intuition and that whenever I don't do something, I regret it. Isn't that just a story? Isn't that me making an assumption? Isn't that me simply stating a fact about my reality? All it what you want. Intuition, gut feeling, coincidence, doesn't matter, right? What it is you accepting the truth of reality and it being confirmed to you. That's all it is. That's what everything comes down to. Everything comes down to the law of being. The law of being is everything. The placebo effect, it's the law of I am. Your quote unquote intuition is simply the law of being. You can label it whatever you want, but when you accept this as truth, what you accept to be the truth will always be proven to you as truth. How to let the Spirit of God guide your actions. Be in this moment and take the righteous path, meaning God is within you, right? So you have these desires that rise up, swell up from within you. Where do they come from? If God is within you and the desire comes from within you, where do they come from? They come from God, right? So in the present moment, you accept the desire is already yours, and then you move accordingly. Meaning, if it was mine, everything that I do becomes magic. So now I'm not focused on trying to become something. I already know that I am it. And now I simply take step by step and I allow my path to be divine. Super chug. Super duper chug. What do we call the path to that reality? The present moment, right? So the path to that reality is just the unfolding of that reality from within you in every present moment. So right now you're on the path. Right now you're on the path. Right now you're the beginning and the end of the path. And every step that you take is the unfolding of the path. You're simply meeting yourself anyway. So I don't think what you call it could be whatever. You can call it the unfolding. You can call it it's already done. You could call it the manifestation, whatever you want to call it, as long as you understand that it's done within you and that every moment becomes the path of that unfolding, right? As reality simply rearranges to match you. Can you propose to switch coincidences? Sure, we can switch it. We can switch it. I try not to get too caught up in semantics, right? We can definitely, if it makes more sense to switch coincidence and synchronicity, that's cool. Either way, right? Whether we call it a coincidence or a synchronicity or a fact or an unavoidable obstacle, it all unfolds from within us, right? We are the ones who reality is unfolding from. How do you rewire your subconscious? What makes you think there's a subconscious to rewire? Before we answer that question, what makes you think that there's a subconscious to rewire? Then we shall talk about it. Remembering that you know and you've always known and you're just remembering exactly. You just forgot for a short amount of time, but you've been here for eternity. You've existed eternally. You just forgot for a brief moment, but now you remember again. You forgetting and remembering does not ever take away from who you truly are. The God within you is unchanging. You being God, you being source is unchanging. Your essence is eternal, it's perfect, it's divine, it's whole, it's prosperity. You just remembering it right now. Been feeling really depressed this past week, to be honest. I don't forget who I am, but the sadness is deep this week. Love you, Glow. It's okay. Right? We go through seasons, right? And I trust that you are giving yourself grace through this season that you're going through, okay? And I also hope that you are expecting an overwhelming amount of love and abundance and prosperity to show up in your life at any moment, right now, right? Because that is what you deserve. That is absolutely what you deserve. The best way to practice presence, mindfulness in the moment. The best way to practice presence is simply to be present. It is to allow yourself to focus on the next thing. Right now, I can't handle what I have to do tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow will come with its own issues, with its own obstacles. right? Right now is the only thing that I can focus on. So one of the best ways to handle being present, or to work on being present, is to say, okay, well, what can I actually control right now? You'll realize the only thing that you can control is what you can control, is what you're doing right now. Okay, I can't control what this person's thinking or doing. Well, they're thinking what I'm thinking. But I can't control what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. If right now I'm having a conversation with my mom, what I can focus on is what? A conversation with her. If right now I'm simply sitting here, then what can I focus on? It could be my breath. All right? If I am driving, I can focus on the road. I can focus on the feeling of the steering wheel. I can focus on the weight in my seat. I can focus on the sound of the wind, right? What can I focus on right now? I can focus on getting to the destination safely. I can focus on being present with my loved one, right? Listening to them. So it's about taking one task at a time. Didn't hear my response. What was the question? Apologize. I love how y'all support each other. Watching the thoughts. Yeah, watching the thoughts for sure. Dropping my awareness into my body helps a lot. Right? Whether it's just feeling the energy in my body, feeling the fingertips, my toes, right? Just dropping into my breath right away, taking my awareness off of my mind, off of the external, and placing it within myself, and then going about the task from there. Like right now, I can have my consciousness within my body. I can feel the weight of my body. I can be present with my body, and I can still simply allow the words to what? To flow, to show up. Right? Oftentimes we'll get so caught up in what we're doing that we think that we are the ones that's actually doing it. But the more that you become aware, you'll realize the thoughts they just come out of nowhere. The words just flow. The actions just happen. The body just moves. You just walk. You just run. You just do whatever. Right? The more aware that you are, the more that you'll realize these things just happen. And how would I go about journaling and scripting about a job? I would start at the source, and that is that you are already the person that has it. And now, from the knowing that I already have it, now I do whatever. Now I can journal. Now I can script. I do those things. I don't do those things, so I can't really give you a method on how to do those things. But remember, all of those things are simply anchors for states of being. You're not journaling to try to become somebody. You already are it. You're simply doing that as a reminder that you already are it. You affirm as a reminder, right? And I'm not a big fan of techniques, of processes, right? Why would I need a process when I already am it? So I just go straight to the knowing of who I am. And have I ever spoken on anxious attachment? Yeah, I've spoken on those types of things, but probably not in a way that probably not in a way that most people would like. I think all of those labels cannot box in God. None of those labels can box in God. You're much more than that, right? Therapists can tell me that I'm an anxious avoidant. Only if I accept that as the truth, which I don't, right? You look at my zodiac sign right now, it's going to tell you I'm controlling. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, right? Those things, well, used to be until I kind of leveled up. But those things, right, those labels that we are given, all of those things are simply an opportunity for me to place myself in a box, or an opportunity to remember the vastness, the eternal nature of God that I am. All right? Of course, you're not just your sun sign. Of course, what I'm saying. So you're not any label, I'm not any label. How could God be boxed into one label? How can the infinite be boxed into anything that is not infinite? Right? Pouring the infinite into anything finite would simply dissolve the finite. The finite would disappear from the sheer vastness of the infinite. Right? So you are without edges, without borders, without boundaries, except for the boundaries that you placed on yourself. You are not a prisoner of any zodiac sign. This is even why if somebody says, well, you don't have to believe in that shit, you're still going to be like it. Well, that's the version of them that you're going to pull in your reality, of course. Right? If you're knowing, your truth will always be exposed. Your truth will always be reflected back to you perfectly. So if I believe because you are this way, or because you are this label, you've been diagnosed with this, or I read this in a book that this is who you'll be, then you have no choice. Energetically, you must show up to match my expectation. This is it. This is why if I believe women ain't shit, I would only get women who prove me right. In the moment that I switch my expectations, everything changes, reality changes. And how would I translate those anxious feelings when it comes to other? What do you mean? What do you mean? Give me an example. How would you translate those anxious feelings when it comes to other people? So you're not. When family and ex-business partners perfectly fail to come through for my business success, when it's all on me, how to navigate the reality of income, work, providing service, it feels overwhelming. That's fine, right? The feeling is fine. The feeling is natural, right? You're expanding. The only way that you can handle it is one moment at a time. And from the knowing that you are already it, right? So you go to that state, right? You decide who you are. You remember who you are unconditionally. And then from there you move forward, right? It's always identity first. And then allow the actions to simply follow. Whatever I do from this identity will be perfect. So I simply handle the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. That's it. If anxious attachment is just a label, those feelings of anxiety, manic, etc., are still around and present sometimes. Would it be a lack of... No. You are not your thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness behind them, right? So just because I feel sad doesn't make me a sad man, right? Just because I'm feeling bad doesn't make me bad. But typically we are so quick to identify ourselves with thoughts and emotions that because we feel a certain way, we will say, well, this is who I am. What I'm saying is that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You are whole, you are complete, you are divine, you are the manifestation of God right now, no matter how you feel. So it's going to that truth and then engaging life from that truth. You are much more than any diagnosis. Exactly. You're always perfect. What's up, y'all? No problem, Gavin. When we know who we are and our thoughts start to ruminate, we should just let thoughts flow. Absolutely. What else is there to do? You remind yourself, you can gently remind yourself or reaffirm. But because you know there's no need to fight them, you're not your thoughts anyway. And your thoughts are always changing, so why fight them? The more that you fight them, the more they're going to show up, right? And once you chase these thoughts off, here come a new batch, right? You'd be like a dog chasing your tail. Are you going out today? Nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling tonight. How long did it take me to get to this point? Is there anything I'm working on currently? I'm working on something every day. I'm constantly remembering more and more every day. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still having a human experience. I'm still having a human experience. It's not about the thoughts coming 2 seconds. You've remembered now. Just because you forgot, does that mean that you weren't God because you forgot? You were still God. You were still God even when you forgot. So now the next time you remember, you remind yourself, I was still God the whole time. It was still working out for me the whole time. I was just having a little identity crisis for a second. I was just forgetting, which is why I came down here, was to forget, to be in the illusion. I was just playing the game for a minute, but I was perfect that whole time. So now I don't have to worry. Boom. Move from the identity of my desires already. Exactly. That this is the fact of who you are. The fact of who you are is divine. It's God, right? So you're already prosperity. Everything is already successfully flowing. Move from that identity. Allow all your actions to be from that identity. Bless your actions before you take them, right? Wake up in the morning, remind yourself that you are prosperity, and then move accordingly. Bless everything is perfect. Scared that I'll never find a partner that I love and loves me. How to not be afraid of that? I can't tell you how to not be afraid of it, but I can tell you that it doesn't matter if you're afraid of it or not. That it'll still unfold perfectly for you, right? This is beyond your emotions. This is about your knowing, right? The emotions will be whatever. Okay, your emotions have been reacting to reality for 20, 30, 40 years, however long, right? So just because you remember the truth right now that it's all working out, does that mean your emotions automatically get on board? No. It might take it a little while to adjust. Give yourself grace, right? Your emotions will get on board when you find that person, when that person shows up. But your job is simply to accept the truth. Accept the truth, move from the truth. Accept the truth and move from the truth. Bless everything is perfect. How else could it ever be? I am. Is it possible to mess up your manifestations? Do you believe it's possible? What do you believe? Romans 11:29, right? For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. When God gives you that gift, that calling, it can't be taken away, right? What does that tell you? It tells you it's unconditional. So who can stop it? Me. If I decide I don't want it, if I say, it's just not working out. Oh, I've been wavering. Oh, my feelings are getting in the way. Oh, this, oh, that. Right? Don't think you are. Know you are. Don't try to get it. Know you have it. Right? You're not trying to become something. You're simply remembering the fact that has always been true. All realities exist within you. You can select whatever you want. Hey, I'm super smiley today. It's been a good day. Don't try to get it, know you have it. What's there to believe? You already know it. What's there to try to believe? You already know it. I'm chugging the shit out this water. Appreciate you. Appreciate your wisdom speaks. I mean, it ain't too far away. When you see me, you see it. When you see me, you see it. No, it's not cold here. It's nice. Peace. Peace, Goddess. Peace, Goddess. Exactly. Accept the truth. Move from that truth. It's already done. It's already done. What y'all got planned for this evening? Anything fun? Anybody going out? Anybody doing anything? Some of y'all probably driving to the club right now. Driving to the club right now. Trying to manifest on a good night. That's what I'm about to do. A room of darkness. When I get off of here, I'm just gonna sit down for a while and just soak in the prosperity for a little bit. I'm chilling tonight. I thought about it, but I don't really feel like being around anybody today. Yeah, I meditate. Well, enjoy the bar, man. Be safe. I hope you get several new SPs tonight. Can I explain how I view time? Time is simply giving me the opportunity to enjoy experiences, right? It's simply how the logical mind perceives one perspective change into another, right? So going from lack to prosperity, the mind creates this timeline that I experience as the unfolding. It's just the unfolding of me, right? That's all I think about it as. But the only time that matters is now. Right now, I have everything that I want. I have all my power. Right now. Exactly. All manifestations are done. It just seems to take time, but they're all done. You are what you are, facts. I don't want to nudge the bar. I'm gonna start working. I call my old SP today. Your old one? Your old one meaning there's more than one? Oh yeah, filet mignon, and I got you. I got you. No need to explain. I got you. I could be here chilling if I'm wasting time. I love Dallas. Miss Maria. Aren't you out right now, Maria? I thought you were out right now. Saw Eddie Murphy's documentary. The Extreme Focus. I've never seen it. I have to check it out. Am I ready? I truly hope so. But all right, y'all. This has been a blessed night. It's been a blessed live. Hey, I appreciate y'all's time. I'm about to jump off here. I'm about to enjoy some quality time, right? Listen to another. I'm about to spend some quality time with myself. Look, I love y'all. Y'all be safe tonight. Okay, y'all be safe tonight. And yeah, we shall talk again tomorrow. Probably talk twice tomorrow. Right? And of course, this document will be on YouTube. This conversation will be on YouTube. This meditation will be on YouTube. So highly advise, if you would, highly advise, right? If you're struggling with embodying something, to check this video out whenever you need a reminder, right? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.